right, more phone calls for our chief investigative reporter Phil Williams tonight here on OpenLine. Let's go back to Patsy as promised. Hi, Patsy.
Hello.
Hi, go ahead. What's on your mind?
Well, first of all, I'm going to say I'm nervous as hell, but
Oh, that's all right. Just having a conversation.
there's a TV movie that everyone needs to watch. It's Stand By Me by Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, that's a great movie.
Have you seen that? That will sum it all up.
Based on a true story, I believe, in Patterson,
yeah.
New Jersey. Yeah.
He was a principal, and he got rid of 300 drug dealers and kids causing problems, and he there was only 38% of these people in this school, Eastside High, that could pass the test. 38%. That means hardly none of them could read, but the state was fixing to take them over.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if that could happen here in Metro or not, but he turned it all around, and
So you say that you just think there needs to be stronger leadership?
stronger leadership.
Yeah.
Like there needs to be a Mr. Carter in all schools.
All right, Patsy, thanks for the call. We appreciate it. Let's continue on. Let's go to Andrew next, who's been waiting. Andrew, thank you. Go ahead.
Yes, what Pastor just said was kind of biased, and it's based on a movie. You know, I would tell anybody that I've been through the system. I'm friends with Brenda Haywood, who just became a council person. Mm-hmm. If you talk to African-American educators, they would tell you a secret about having to protect young African-American children from the system. So if the guy who called about the contracts, about the government outsourcing,
Yeah.
it was pretty much the same issue. The issue with schools is about conservative Republicans making sure that they can point out that these kids are superior to those kids. And so if you don't speak about politics, charter schools, this is the issue.
Okay.
So charter schools is the problem, and conservative politics into school is the problem. Thank you.
It sounds like, Andrew, hold on, you still in line?
Yeah.
That you're saying, you know, this is, when we talk about systemic, that this is a rigged system, that it's just that maybe minority kids are coming into this already kind of at a disadvantage.
Did you see 60 Minutes yesterday where they were talking about these suburban school kids who are on heroin?
Yeah, the heroin report.
Okay, so I'm telling you, kids are fed up with school, okay?
Yeah.
That's a fact. No one have done a study. I would go around and take a survey of every child in America and see do they really want to be at school. School is a hassle. When I went to school, I never did homework. Mm-hmm. And I was smart enough to take those tests and get out of school on time.
Right.
The system is rigged to try to make some kids feel bad and give up. Joy Behan said the other day, we need to teach kids how to play and learn to socialize.
Yeah.
And that was very true. They did a test in Britain. If you follow kids who are 4.0, they would do no better in life than C students.
Yeah.
School, charter schools, turning school into the same prison systems where you make profit. It's politics. Thank you. All
right. Thank you, Andrew. Very, very interesting observations there. You and I were just talking about this with our kids in school, and it's hard nowadays. I don't know if I could make it through the curriculum that my daughter is a freshman in high school, in a public school. It's very, very difficult. The amount of work that she's bringing home too, right. which is
and let's be honest, your kids and mine have advantages that a lot of these kids don't have, and so it's even tougher for some of those kids.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Thank you, Andrew. Let's go to Sherry next on line 3. Hi, Sherry.
Hi, how you doing?
Doing well, thank you.
I agree with Andrew, but I am a single working parent, and I am at home with my kids every evening. We do homework for 30 to 45 minutes every evening. And my son, he attends Pearl Calm, and I did not know this was going on. I did not know the teachers was pulling the children out, some kids out at the last minute.
And I want to know what is going to take place to improve this with the Metro School District. What is going to take place to better this problem with the students in their education, because I do not want my child to fall behind.
Yeah, and one of the things that you need to be aware of, the school system seems to be saying, well, you know, pulling them out at the last minute is not the right thing to do. But pulling them out at the beginning of the second semester, we're okay with that.
Right.
In some of the cases where we've seen documentation, these kids actually may have been slightly failing, but they were close enough that if they had continued and gotten a little extra help in the second semester, they actually could have pulled themselves up to passing without getting behind. And so that's the thing I think parents need to be aware of, is if your child gets pulled out of a class, demand to know why.
Sherry, let me ask you this. You said you're a single mom, you're working full-time, yet you still take it upon yourself to spend this time with your kids every night.
Yes, indeed, every night. And on Saturdays we go to the library. You know, we have family time. And
do you think, though, that your kids would have a chance if you did not do that? That's just an important component, isn't it?
Yes, it is very important. It's very important that the parents, single parent mom, dads, or even if they're married, it's very important that you spend quality time with your children and take time out to know what's going on in the school system and to know the work that they're doing, you know.
Yeah. All right. Great call, Sherry. Thank you.
Yes, indeed. Thank you.
Let's go to Ann next. Hi, Ann. Welcome to OpenLine.
Hi. I want to thank Mr. Williams for doing this story. I was at 4 high schools, and I was at 2 magnets, and I saw this practice done more times than I can count. Another policy parents still do not comprehend is that a teacher in Metro cannot give a grade of less than 50 on any test or any assignment that a student turns in. If they are enrolled in Metro from 5th to 12th grade, they get a 50 just for sitting in that chair. Doesn't matter if they put their name on a paper or sleep through the class, they get, bottom line, at least a 50. And there's nothing the teacher can do but give the test or the assignment over and over and over again until the student either passes it or turns it in for a grade, which is a policy that is as stupid as what those guidance counselors were having done with those students being pulled from classes. So thank you, Mr. Williams. Please continue to research this in the magnet schools as well as in all the high schools, not just the ones who are predominantly one race or another, whether they are Hispanically dominant. It doesn't matter. This is something going on throughout the entire district.
And thank you for the call.
Yeah, that was a controversial policy that was implemented in 2013, and we're going to have more on that as our investigation continues, because there's a lot more to that. But the notion was, you know, don't let a child dig a hole so big that he or she cannot get out of it.
Right.
And so that's the logic behind that nothing less than a 50. The problem is, a child who wads up a test and throws it back at the teacher gets a 50.
Right.
And
that's a problem. You know, let's quickly go to Jacqueline. We got about 1 minute left. Jacqueline, sorry to put you 2 minutes left. Go ahead, Jacqueline.
Yes, my concern is I'm sitting here listening to all this, and what is being done for those children that are under IEPs and they have behavioral problems?
Right.
Yeah, I think there are some very serious issues here that could end up getting the district into hot water. because you can, and let's explain this quickly. IEP is an individualized education plan. If you're a special education student, special needs student, there is a plan that is an agreement between the family and the school. You cannot break from that plan without consulting with and getting the agreement of the family. So if students, and I'm led to believe this has happened, if students were pulled out of classes without any consultation with the family, without looking at that IEP, there could be some issues for the school system.
And it's still, you know, in your report you mentioned, like, you know, I still don't understand this. The student maybe getting an 80-something, a B in the class, but takes this practice test, which may show that they may do poorly on the test itself,
the end of course exam.
End of course exam, and they get, even though they've passed the, you know, practice tests are different from the real thing.
And students know when they count and when they don't.
Right. Yeah.
So I mean, I think that's, you know, that's very concerning. And we're going to use an example of another student in our investigation tomorrow night at 6 that will kind of blow your mind as well.
Oh wow, can't wait. All right, callers, thanks. Just great calls. We're going to wrap things up after this. Stay with us.